So this hardware was just rebuilt last year. It's all brand new. You see the big solar field they have? You'll see solar on a lot of the houses and barns. So my Amish grandmother's name is Rebecca. She's 87 now, still doing well. And since, you know, they get older, there's exceptions for the elderly, especially for my grandmother, because my uncle lives next door and owns her house and property.
The one that's not Amish.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, my uncle Ammon, yeah, he's not Amish. He has a construction company and owns a bunch of land. So yeah, Grandma's house is apartments now. Grandpa passed away in the late 90s. So there's my cousin lives in the basement, and there's a nice Mennonite girl above her. So the house has electric. Grandma's house level does not have electric technically, but we can run wires up from the basement for her refrigerator that's now powered by electric, and her AC unit in her window.
I was gonna ask you this. Do you have AC survival electric?
Oh yeah, yep. Yeah, my dad and uncle forced it on her a few years ago. And you know, she's always skeptical about stuff, but she loves it. It still throws me off when I walk in her house in the summer and it's cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh boy, here we go, it's gonna be warm, and then I walk in and it's like 70. But yeah, before she had that, we would eat dinner outside, under the shade, where there's a nice breeze.
How old are those?
These guys, I think Hershey's like 6 or 7. He's pretty young, and Daisy's about 10 years old. So they can live to be 25 to 30 years old usually.
Yeah. When do they retire?
Close to 20. Depends on the horse. Yep.
When do they start?
They can start working around 3 years old. Full-time work by 4 or 5 years old.
Start really late.
In horse. Oh yeah, man. If you lived on an Amish farm, you'd be doing everything. Yeah, we can drop you off if they're having a hay day. You could stack hay all day. That's a good workout. Yeah, we've had beautiful weather and nice breezes like this. We've only had a handful of days that it's been a little more humid without the breeze. Most of the farms we'll pass by are Amish farms. The one on the right is not Amish. It's hard to tell just from looking at it from this angle. But you'll see they have wheat up here in the field. The Amish can grow wheat and soybeans, but they generally won't grow them because a lot of them don't use the machines that harvest them. So they'll have to hire other farmers to harvest it.
Okay. So they all ever rent machines to do stuff like that?
Sure, they could.
Okay. Typically they don't still do it, they just throw something on.
Yeah, yep. This field is winter rye. That's a cover crop. That's typically what they grow in the winter.
Okay.
After they harvest corn or tobacco, and then they harvest it in the spring and plant corn again. Tobacco, they have to rotate where they grow every year. It's pretty much a high protein hay for the cows. They feed it like hay.
Which one was the harvest?
What's that?
Which one is that you were talking about? That
Yep, that one there. The long, straight, leafy stuff.
I think that was like weeds. That's why I noticed.
Yeah, yep. So if you look at a lot of the cornfields, you'll notice a dead grass under there. That was the winter rye that they harvested in March or May. Yep. So the farmers call the corn early corn and late corn. So the early corn is planted earlier, like this stuff, and the late corn is planted a couple weeks later. This guy's a motor on a scooter.
That's pretty sweet.
Yep. There's an Amish farmer just north of town. They have a bed and breakfast. It's called the Beacon Hollow Farm, and he works at a solar shop. So he invented a motor for the Amish scooter like that.
Really?
Yep, it's battery powered. Most of the church communities don't allow them, but there's some around here that let them do it. Oh yeah. Yeah, the early corn is harvested for silage. The harvest is everything, the stalk and the cobs chopped up into grain and fermented for a month. And then the late corn is towards the end of the season when it's dry. They just use the cob of the corn for feed. They chop it up into grain. And the stalk is chopped up, and they use that to clean out the horse and cow stalls.
Oh.
They bale it similar to hay. Yeah, usually beside the barn you'll see like a concrete shed with a gas tank on the roof. That's the diesel tank. That's where their diesel engine is. And some of the older farms and houses use a propane gas line. You can see their propane pipes hooked up running through the barn.
Oh.
So they use that for lighting, heating, different things. Most of them don't do that anymore. Especially in the summer, those propane lights give off way too much heat. It's pretty broad. Most of them get married in their mid to young 20s.
Okay.
Some would get married in their late teen years, whenever they're ready. So, yeah, the Rumspringa ends when they're engaged. Before they get married, they have to join the church if they're staying Amish. So the Rumspringa usually lasts for many years. It starts when they're 16. For my dad, it was about 4 years. He left the Amish when he was 20.
I didn't know if it was really still happening or
Oh, yeah.
it was more just his book.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Yeah, it's different in each community. You have a small percentage of the kids that go nuts.
Yeah.
And most of them are just conservative and like to hang out, and go shopping, go to the movies and bowling alleys, things they don't normally do when they're Amish. Yeah, you can mix different breeds or different ponies together to get different sizes. And there's all kinds of different ponies. This bridge was originally built in 1893. They used to build the roof over the bridge to preserve the wood underneath from the weather. They say they can last up to a century longer being covered. We call it the Peckway Bridge. It's on the Peckway Creek. This is Belmont Road, so some people refer to it as the Belmont Bridge.